Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. We're still doing the free-to-play. We're doing the Road to Ultra Nightmare on my channel, but I have somebody else with me who's doing his own thing on his channel and kind of put all of this together, and I'm talking, of course, about Mr. HellHades's. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm massively enjoying the kind of free-to-play experience again, so yeah, it's good to have a chat, man.
Yeah, dude, this has been so much fun. I know I messaged you the other day just saying thank you so much for letting me do this, because it's been like really rejuvenizing, that the word?
Re-energizing?
Yes, energizing. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. But just for me and my play and doing this stuff, I just really been super happy with it. So thanks so much for putting this all together. Like what we thought we would do, you're on my channel, obviously we're going to go over your account and go over the champions and all the stuff that you've put together, and then we're going to jump over to your channel and you're going to look at my account and talk about the choices, decisions, all that kind of fun stuff we've done so far. So yeah, I guess we could jump in. Should we start by looking at your champions? I feel like that might be the #1 thing people want to kind of
I think so. It's a funny experience, isn't it? Because obviously, when I've done these free-to-plays before, I've pretty much done them solo. And yeah, I'm sharing my experience. I'm sharing like the shard pools and stuff, but I've never really done it where I'm like seeing a whole nother group of people pretty much doing either the same things at the same time or deciding not to do the same things as me. And you get that kind of like feeling of jealousy creeping in when you see someone like yourself cracking open all the gold. Or or like you feel kind of like really up when it's like actually I've hit a challenge that no one else has done yet, or perhaps only a couple of people have done. So it's actually a really fun way to do it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's nice having that kind of like, I don't know. I'm not as up on the competition part of it because I don't feel like I'm going to be competing at the same high level as everybody else. But I'm definitely in on the the kind of organizing with each other and being able to like share thoughts and kind of seeing how other people are going. It makes it a much more fun experience not having to do it alone, I feel like. But you got let's see what we got here. So you've got Elva, or you got Elhain, excuse me. That's your level 60 champion, right?
I felt like I wanted to get a 60 really quick. That was my main thing. So I went 60 fast, and really she was my only option at the time. When I was well on my way to getting a 60, I pulled a Kale. And Kale,
see that.
Yeah, Kale was like a bit of a spanner in the works because I could have gone Kale 60, but it would have just slowed me down. It just would have been a slower thing to do. So I was like, no, stick with it. I'd already bought masteries for Elhain. I was like, I just got to kind of crack on with where I am, and then perhaps Kale comes next.
Yeah. Let me tell you though, that Kale as a 60 champion is just ridiculous. Like I feel like I might be alone in this, but I feel like getting Kale in the spin wheel we did is more valuable than getting Deacon or Mordecai or anybody else.
It's absolutely massive, yeah. Even now, so Kale's coming in for me as a 50 in a lot of places, and I can feel his value. It's just kind of like, here he is. This is what I needed from the start. Yeah,
absolutely.
And honestly, Shinuru is it's my biggest mistake. It's my biggest waste of resources so far. She has just been sucking, honestly. Shinuru.
Really?
First off, her main skill doesn't unlock unless she's ascended to level 3. And it's quite expensive to ascend an epic to level 3.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling.
Yeah, because obviously you've got deep. But I mean, Shinuru, she can't even play yet until she's a level 3 ascended, and it's so expensive to get there. And then even when she is maybe at level 60, she's going to be good, but I'm really hesitant now to put her up to 60 because she's just she feels so weak, honestly. But then I don't have her in good gear. Yeah, I don't know. This A3, I picked up this A3 and I was like, I'm going to get her ascended because she's going to be my answer to Spider. I was thinking this is just going to blow up all the Spiderlings. She's just going to have it back again and again and again. But really, the level we want to farm on Spider for now, at least, is 10. And she's the wrong affinity for that. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've thrown books into her. Thought that might be the answer. It was.
It's
I
a
think it was
that's
a
a rough
terrible
one.
decision.
That's a
Yeah,
rough
I
one.
think it was a
Yeah,
terrible
I
one.
totally see what you're talking about this lay bear. You know, when she kills an enemy,
Hmm.
she gets this cooldown back, right, for one turn each, like over and over, kind of like Queen Eva, right?
Yeah,
Kind of
I just
idea
felt like
there.
in my head I was like, she's going to blow up all the spiderlings. She's going to get it back and just keep doing that skill. And then all I need really is like turn me to control,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got a spider 10 on farm like really easily.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Not
just
so much.
hesitant now to get her up to 60 in case it doesn't do the job. Because at
I
the minute of 50, she's weak, really weak.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, like, you know, some champions really benefit from getting level 60, but like, well, I mean, she also doesn't have. I
The
mean,
gear's not
yeah.
good either. No, it doesn't help. She's
And
gonna
that's the problem. This early on, getting anything
yeah.
decent is so hard to do.
That's it. You
Um,
get your starter gear, which actually is very good. So HellHades's wearing pretty much all of that. But
right.
then after that, very quickly you're scrambling around. It's like, what can I put this person in? And you've
Mm-hmm.
got this like 3-star. Yeah, and you're thinking, oh god, I'm leveling something up that's 3-star because I haven't got anything better.
This is very
Yeah.
interesting. I'm real interested in like the way I feel like while you've built tall, you know, to take like a
Yeah.
a RTS kind of approach. You built tall, I built wide. And
Interesting.
you have, you know, you got your 60, you got 150, and your, you know, two other 5-star champions, and then kind of like grinding, getting it there ever so slowly, but we're, you know, getting to
Yeah.
that point.
And actually, this was a change of tact for me as well. So I unlocked Doom Tower yesterday,
I saw that.
and
Not
I
jealous
was
at
like,
all.
I'm going for it. Yeah, I unlocked it, and I was like, I'm going for this, and I couldn't do it with just. So I thought HellHades's might be able to get me there, and honestly, on her own at 60, she couldn't. So I actually wasn't planning on taking anyone else up to 5-star. Like I took Shanura up yesterday. I put more levels into Kale yesterday. My plan was Kale to 60 as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Don't do anything else. It was just like 260s is stronger than 160. That was kind of my plan. But I guess I've deviated from that a bit because I've got a. If you think I'm kind of like tall and narrow now, yesterday I was like slim, like super slim. I filled out a bit.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's still right. I mean, I've almost gone back to the thought of now, no, just get Cal to 60. Stop getting sidetracked.
It's so hard. It's so hard. This has been my biggest issue is getting sidetracked, trying, you know, seeing all these things that I want to get, you know, like you're talking
Yeah.
about getting ascending. Like I'm so desperate to ascend both Rhonda and Elva, and like, and not to
It's a
mention
lot of your energy though, isn't it? It's just kind of like
it goes like that. Goes like
Yeah.
that. You know, it's such an RNG game because if you don't get the drop, you're really just
Definitely.
SOL. But it's such a game-changing upgrade to those champions.
Yeah.
I mean, really game-changing. And so, like, I just keep thinking, well, if I can, like, I was able to ascend Deacon, completely changed my Deacon, like, completely changed
nice.
how good he is. And I know that's only going to be exacerbated for both Rhonda and Elva. So I totally hear what you're talking about with that. So okay, let's focus down a little bit here. When you're obviously your first priority was just getting HellHades's to 60, right? You like buckled down, you did that.
Number one. I thought I was going to be one of the first people to do it. I don't know if you probably haven't seen. I had a couple of people on my stream who
I saw
got
that
to
video.
60s. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. One guy got to level 60 day one.
Like 22 hours
like,
or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it actually took him 16 hours to get his first 60.
Wild.
Which is insane, honestly. It's crazy stuff. But yeah, for me, I just know. In fact, I had a few people comment like, I feel like more 50s is better than 60. I really don't feel like that. I feel like 160 can just kind of power you through, starts to massively enhance your clan boss damage, and like all of the things around the game start to become easier when you've got that one. And then I think exactly the same when you've got number 2 and number 3. So for me, I'm definitely like just hard. I try and hard focus it, but I do get sidetracked by missions, and I'm not doing as well.
I was basically
arena.
trying to experiment that other side of things. Can I do this with all just 50 champions? How high can I get? You know, and
I'm interested to see your account soon, actually, because I've never tried to go that way, and I've always kind of counseled don't go that way. So I'm interested to see how far you've got with it. for sure.
No one ever tries to go that way. You just end up in that situation. I think it's
Yeah. We get someone else who's like, oh, they're good. Like, I did the same thing. As soon as I got Ronda, I was like, well, I might as well take her up to level 50. Like, there's no food that I'm going to lose, but you do lose a lot of your experience that you would have put somewhere else. You're now pumping it into someone to take him from 1 to 50. And it's so easy. It's so easy to get sidetracked into these different things. Especially now, probably by the time this video goes out, our leaderboards will be live for us guys. Right. And it'll be, who's got furthest in Spider, who's got furthest in Finite, who's got the best time in Minotaur. These different things are out there. And I'm a competitive guy, right? And I see people climbing in areas, and I'm like, I wonder if I could do that. And before you know it, you spent your full energy refill in an area which just completely took you away from your goal again. It's a 100%
for me. Not only that, but you end up spending all that energy hitting the max and going, "Oh, I can't do that." Great, that
was a waste.
That's 12 energy down the drain. Sweet, happy about that. Happy about that.
If you're like me, which I think you are, you're kind of like, well, I didn't do it, but if I just do that, if I make that change, I think I could probably have done that. And that's 24 energy, 36. And yeah, damn.
100%. 100%. Well, especially I have Elva, so she's a big makes you feel like you could do anything if you just play it right. Which is like, oh, that's a bad
Elva, that passive heal. Wow, that would be
passive heal when she's ascended. Only when she's ascended.
Right, okay.
So she's an interesting champion. I'll be excited to talk to you about her when we get to my account. Oh, you aren't as far along in the missions as I thought you might be, actually.
So I started.
You're pretty close to You're almost exactly where I am, actually. Now that I think about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My main thing I wanted was those 300 gems.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I was just kind of like, again, it starts to say, go to the potion keeps and get all of these different pots and stuff like that. Which, if I was just trying to rush Arbiter, that's the way to go. But I honestly felt like it was starting to just divert too much of my energy, and I was farming at a level which I just felt was too low. So again, it's like I like the missions. I like going back to the missions because I think they're fun, and sometimes it's a nice distraction from just doing like a 12 free farm or whatever. But
I agree.
In terms of like efficiency, I think I got to a point where I was like, I don't need that sacred yet, and that's the main reason I'd be going in that direction. So I just kind of went back to a bit of grinding, really.
Interesting. I noticed that you've held all your shards here, or a lot of your shards here. Is that how? I've YOLO'd everything. So what is the what's your thinking on this part of it?
Well, I don't like pulling shards unless there's some sort of event going on that makes it worthwhile. I pulled 3 voids through the week. I tried to get myself a Trizia. That didn't work. I ended up getting another 3 rares. Every shard I've pulled so far, by the way, has been a rare. Every single one. And
excellent.
It's brutal. So I'm due for some luck to change. But I don't know, man. I'm in this position right now where I'm thinking, I always say to people, you know what, you could get fusions if you try. Yeah, if you're patient, if you keep hold of your resources, you can do it as a free-to-play for sure.
Yep.
And I've done it every year that I've done a free-to-play. I've shown it. But this year, I'm kind of 50-50 at the moment. Do I just want to pull some shards and try and get some champs? Play it in a way more casual, fun way. Yeah, like I could go and get a sacred shard today. I know I could pick up 2 today if I wanted to.
Right.
I could just pull them and see what I get. And that's actually how my son plays. Lockers is part of the challenge as well. He plays in that way. He's like, got a shard, feels like it's a good day for it, pull in a shard. Yeah. And I try and show people that that's not the best way, but I do feel like doing it. I do feel like it. So I'm not sure. I might ask stream tonight, what do they think? Because do we need another kind of like, this is the exact way to play the game? Or actually, should I just have some fun with it, have some fun with the challenge, try and get a few epics, really? I would love an epic. Yeah. Give me an epic game that can help me out. I don't even need a gold.
That is a consideration, right? Like I know for myself, I pulled everything I've had up to this point. I'm starting to like, okay, I can hold on to some things. But I was definitely
you've now got a foundation, haven't you? Of
that's the thing is I found that
do something for you.
Having that, now I have a foundation of champions to build, teams to build. And the worst case scenario, I pulled a bunch of food to help get me those 60s sooner.
Yeah.
And I think part of the other part for me was knowing how often her pulls are bad. And I was just like, look, we're saying this is a chicken that is going to be more valuable now than it will be later. And that's
Yeah.
likely what it's going to be anyway, right? So let me just, get some, because if I get a game changing champion, it becomes game changing. And honestly, picking up Venom Age was absolutely massive.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Really
jealous of
massive
Venom
pull.
Age. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got what, Venom Age, Deacon. I guess we'll go on your account in a bit, but in
Yeah.
terms of like champion quality, I'd say you versus me from what I've seen so far. I've not seen your account in detail, but I feel like I'm bottom of the bunch of all of us, of everyone in this kind of like challenge. I feel like, you know, if I'm saying, yeah, my best champion that I've pulled so far is a Kale, which is what a load of people started with, that feels pretty rough.
That's not a great spot to. Yeah, I hear that. Although I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, though, I definitely would not mind having a Kale on my account right now. It would be absolutely massive for me. So
Yeah.
it's just that's the thing though. It's all
It
about where they
spins and
fit.
roundabouts, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you get an apothecary, you're saying the same things, right? So I mean, like, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I did pull that Doom Screech. It's probably
Doom Screech is
the
great
most
champion.
interesting type of pull as someone who's a bit different. I don't normally kind of build one out, but I've always said it's a good champion. It's a good champion that has got a half decent kit. So, it certainly is that kind of whilst you're waiting for a better speed option or, gives me an increased defense option. So
Yeah.
definitely the cool thing about free to plays, I think, is that you just have to deal with what you've got. You just have to use who comes into your account and make the most of it. And obviously then it shows other players that come into the game that the game's way more diverse than we show it to be when we're on our main accounts. You've got
That is
options.
the best part about this game is there are so many options and trying to fit those pieces together. There's a million
Yeah.
ways to do it and still be successful. And I think that is like absolutely one of the real appealing things of this. All right, I got an important question I want to get from you, and I think this is like what it comes down to because we've talked about how we get distracted a lot. We've talked about like our approach, like getting that one champion to 60, how important and impactful that feels for you. Where are you spending your energy? Obviously, there's a bunch of these missions, right? Which are a great way,
Yeah.
especially getting that 300 gems, really nice spot to either, unlock the gem mine or get somebody fully ascended, whatever, you want to, or fully mastered, excuse me, however you want to approach using your gems. But, a lot of these kind of take you back and forth where you're going from one dungeon to the next dungeon to the potion keeps to, all these different things. And, to get your champions really ranked up, a lot of that time is just spent in campaign, right?
That's it.
And I know
Yeah,
you're a big proponent of using the Palace of Aravia to farm gear while you're leveling. Some people are big fans of the Brimstone Path because you get the most XP out of that. Where, or
Yeah.
or
So I'll
do
tell
you,
you what,
do you spend time in dungeons getting gear? Like, where do you spend your
yeah,
energy?
definitely not the last one, which I feel like I feel like I don't have gear right now. I feel
Hmm.
desperately as I'm starting to get a few more champions that I'm going to use. I mean, you saw it there with even my Shinuru build and stuff. They are geared terribly, um, like really bad. But I started off at the Palace of Arabia, stage 6, getting myself some boots. And if you just quickly go into my champion kind of selection, because I tell people this, like this is where if you go into my champions and just kind of filter on speed boots.
Mm,
I've had a number of takeovers where I've been like, where are your boots? Where's your speed? And they don't have any, right? They just don't have any. And I'm like, how do I
yeah.
have more boots than you? And I'm playing on a free to play and I've only been playing for a month or 2 months or whatever. So first thing I did was I just got a bunch of speed boots in so that I'm ready for my next bunch of champions that come in. And they're only common, doesn't really matter to me. It's just they're still the same speed as a legendary 5-star set of boots. So, that will do the job for now. Once I got to a point where I felt like I had enough, I then actually started to farm 12-6 on Brutal because I just wanted to go for experience. So
Hmm.
I was kind of, and at that moment in time, I felt like I had a lot of silver, by the way. So I was like, you know what? I'll farm Brutal 12-6 and just get the experience in as quick as I can, get people ranked up. Got obviously my first 6-star going. And now I'm kind of pushing back towards brutal 12-3 because my silver count after the artifact event, I leveled some gear up and stuff. My silver's just gone. Like
Yeah.
I had like 8 million. I was like, I'm doing well. Then it's just like, damn, it's gone. I didn't feel like
Did you say
I
you had
really got
8
anything.
million?
Is it 8 million? Yeah. Yeah. I was like, because I was just holding for the artifact event. I was like, right,
Sure.
we're going to do this well. But I mean, that's the other thing is all of these events that are coming in for the fusion. I was never trying to get the fusion, but I've actually picked up a ton of the fragments just from playing the game to the point
Yeah.
where I actually thought I was still on for the fusion, even though there was no way we could have done any of those first few sets.
Yeah.
I was like, this could be on.
Is this doable?
Yeah, it was in that sort of space. Like, but unfortunately today the summon rush came in. It was like, no chance.
Yeah. I was actually counting those shards on my main to like go, can I do this one? When is next year?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes
it's interesting to see.
Very. I mean, I like that approach though. I was doing some of that myself, right? Hitting up Palace of Aravia to try and get some speed boots. I had horrible luck compared to yours. I have 1 5-star speed boots on my, so like it's just not. Just, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, I did get pretty lucky, and I guess I could also do the same thing at Vladimir straight and do the same thing because actually I'm pretty short on lifesteal gear. I really would prefer to have any damage dealer in lifesteal. This
is actually something I used to tell people because when I first started moving from Nightmare, was it Brutal to Nightmare and then Nightmare to Ultra Nightmare. Everybody back then, right? This is like 2-3 years ago now. Everybody used lifesteal. It was like the only set for clan boss. Definitely. And I told people I would farm whatever this is, 8-4, 8-5, 8-6. I would farm all of them just for the common pieces. And like, getting a chess piece with the main stat that you need is hard. I don't care if it has speed drops underneath it sometimes. Getting speed boots, like you said, the speed's the same. It's the rank is what matters, not necessarily the rarity. And so like I would do those quite often early on, just to get the pieces so that I could build a team around it. And then obviously, once you start actually farming Dragon, you start getting the drops to help fill in those sets. But
because it actually takes a lot of energy of Dragon farm to get the set you want to drop with the substats you need. Like I know some people just go straight into Dragon, and if they get lucky, they get lucky. But you've got 9 different sets in there that could drop. Then you've got the different slots that you're trying to fill. Like you've got to be pretty damn lucky a lot of times to fill up all of the different areas that you need to fill up. So I
don't like this. What is this? What is this? That's not right. That's not right at all. See, this is the kale factor. I cannot take the kale factor anymore. Watching other people.
Although the monk did some work for me while I was waiting to get a kale.
Outlaw monks, no joke, man. No joke.
Yeah, I got
absolutely. I had one
on the market. Yeah, I think he's probably, until you start pulling champions that actually help you, I think he's your just best go-to for a clan boss. Certainly early level to just guarantee. I mean, I was trying to show like HellHades's level 50 versus monk level 30 right at the start, and just putting out those 2 poisons, you're like, there it is. There's all your damage for the early levels.
Absolutely massive. I actually had pulled. I'll share this with you. I had pulled an assassin, really early, and I was like, great for clan boss, right? Look, he's got poison, he's got debuff extension, he's got weaken, he's trash. It was like I'm
like, actually, it looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good. It's completely a trap. It's a trap. Don't go there. It was just like, what is happening? I put Outlaw Monk in and like doubled his damage. Like it was, it's just like you can't beat 2 poisons for 2 turns every 3 turns. Like that's all you need.
And it's free to book, very easy to find. Like
This is
exactly. This is with the commons, isn't it? I mean, we've got some people in the group, odd ones, taking his first 60 as a shield guard, which I thought was laughable, honestly. But he is doing big things with shield guard, and
he's doing great.
I know shield guard's a good champ, but it's just kind of like, damn.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things. See, this is where I feel like philosophies start to differ a little bit, right? Like shield guard, totally crushing this, right? Like he's soloing,
Yeah.
he's doing the farming for him, but he's also level 60, you know? And like, is that who I want my first 60 to be? But then on the other side of it, you know, but here's the other side, right? Like we're going to need a lot of 60 champions, not just one.
Yeah.
So, okay, now his farming set, it'll be easier for him to get the next ones in. Somebody just hit hard. Somebody just hit hard. Look at these people. This is not.
Yeah, there's a few people up in that hard area.
That is.
I'm nowhere near it, honestly.
Disagreeable.
Well, saying that, I hit 3. Yesterday. I had a key which was like 100,000 short of the 1 key of normal. And I normally say to people, if you can 1 key an area,
then push.
You're probably it's time to go to the next one. But yeah.
Yep.
It's funny because I don't feel like my team is ready for the next one. I look at my team, I'm like, no, we're not ready. If anything, we should be going down.
I'm a 4 key on easy, guys. Don't worry about
it.
Yeah. But I just think it's, you know, I like that. I'm glad you brought up the shield guard because I think that was such an ingenious kind of approach to this, right? Doesn't take books because you just feed him into himself. He's going to be easy to ascend because he's just an uncommon champion, right? So easy, you know, all that stuff becomes real simple.
Basically, he's just saving all these resources, isn't he? All the resources that we're throwing into stuff, he's just holding on to.
Yeah,
which is clever. It's a clever way to do it.
It's a very clever.
Well, yeah, we know shield guard could solo eventually something like Minotaur 15. We've seen it. We've been doing it for the last couple of years in showcases and stuff. So he's definitely onto something there.
Yeah, it's interesting though to have a dedicated, what I would consider a dedicated farmer this early, right? It's definitely not. Yeah, that's I think the interesting part where I'm like, I would rather have somebody that I can utilize in more areas. I know that whoever I'm taking to 60 this early, I'm going to be using a lot for a long time. And I feel like that's the trade-off here, right? Where it's like, how long is Shield Guard going to be viable for versus somebody
they have to be able to eventually specialize somewhere. Whoever your 60 is, and right now, really, I mean, they're in every single team that you run. Doesn't matter where you are. They're in the team. They're first man on the team sheet. And
that's why HellHades's I think is a very solid choice. But it's not one I like to make. And we'll talk about that when we get on my account. But like I think there's she's really good all around champion. She's gonna AoE, she got damage, she scales well as a starter champion. Kale obviously has the most viability with the poisons too. He becomes a little bit more useful in a little bit more areas. But I feel like that first 60, you want to be able to take in a lot of areas and be, applicable in all those things because of that, because they are first in the team. But I love your account, man. I mean, obviously you had some shard difficulty, but you also haven't pulled very many shards, right? I'm really interested when you do start pulling those ancients, when you start getting all your sacreds too. You have a couple of those coming up. That should be, really big boost for your accounts. And excited to see kind of where it goes.
The sacreds, I'm guaranteed an epic, right? So, it's something. Yeah, it's something. I think. Yeah, that's what I would love to see is just an epic or two, which bring just a bit more to the account. Just can push me on in different areas. Like ideally, I don't want to farm a War Maiden because there's so many good decreased defense epics now, which bring a bit more. Yes. However, it's kind of getting close to that point where it's like if I don't pull shards soon and see if I get an epic, then I'm just gonna have to go and burn a load of energy getting myself a War Maiden and kind of going down that route.
I mean, at some point, there's certain things you need to kind of keep moving forward. Thankfully,
I'm already finding the Doom Tower waves. I'm throwing my biggest AoE hits into these waves, and I need even on like I'm at stage. I've just beaten 20 today. On stage 7 on normal, I was like, these dudes won't die. Like they were coming back and hitting hard. Like I was shocked at how hard I was getting hit on normal 7. Honestly.
Okay. That's enough of the Doom Tower. I'm at Doom Tower talk. Okay, I don't need all that. All right. I don't need that kind
when you get there, we could talk about it a bit more.
See, do you guys see the smoke that he's throwing at me? When you get there, I see I understand. Yep, I get it. No, this is. I think that's actually really good that you're at that level. I mean, being able to get those stages are so crucial. When I unlocked 3v3, I was like, yes. The Forge.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Forge. There's so many kind of little areas where it's like, actually, I've now got something else that I can do. I mean, the 3v3, I've already got 2 waiting to buy a third Drex fragments. Like I was
Wow,
like, I'm doing it straight away, just punching on.
that's
The Doom
impressive.
Tower, I thought the sooner I unlock it, so I did use some gems to get the experience to unlock 40. Because I thought the sooner I unlock it, the sooner I start climbing and getting the rewards on a daily basis. And sometimes it's, do I be patient and hold my resources for a later date, or do you use your resources to unlock more stuff quicker? It's that trade-off, isn't it? Right?
Yep.
A bit like you're talking with shards. Do you pull them now for the benefit today, or do you hold because you know there's a bigger benefit later?
Yeah.
Or perhaps maybe you would have got to that bigger benefit later if you pulled them anyway. Like it's this kind of unknown areas, yeah. But
Yeah. It's
and
really
that's the
that
fun thing
efficiency
with
part of
other
it,
people
right?
doing it, I think.
It's like,
Yeah.
you know, like when I have 4-star pieces of gear, I'm like, I need this. Do I roll it up? I need it right now. But
Yeah.
but the thing is, that's not going to stay on my account for very long, right? Like it's the 5-star stuff
Feels
that I
like a
can
waste.
roll and feel confident about holding on to. The 4-star stuff, I really don't. So, you know, that kind of push and pull of, you know, what's what I need right now versus what I need later. That's always
Yeah.
the yin yang pull of everything. Well, hey man, thank you for coming in and talking with me. We've been about 30 minutes. I don't want to carry this on too long for
Yeah.
everybody
Let's
out
go
there.
and talk about your account.
Plus, we get to go. Yeah, you can make fun of me on my account. Actually, it'll be great. Yeah, embarrassment coming full circle. So. I do just want to thank you again for putting this on this and letting me be a part of it. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really excited to do this and excited to kind of keep that grind going. It's been like my morning routine now is getting up,
Yeah.
doing a video and talking about what I did the day before. It's been very fun. So thanks again.
No, thanks for having me on as well. And I feel like it's just so cool to see so many people in the community involved. That's the main thing for me. It's like there's so many people that are on videos, kind of seeing how we're all doing and participating as well. So yeah, for me, it's just it's very cool actually. Very fun.
Yeah. I agree. I think that is a very, very cool part of this. All right. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for sticking by. Head over to Hades channel and see the other half of this combination video. And yeah, that's all we got. So until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.